This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neeson with the Raw Life Health Show, and here I am on another beautiful day in South Florida. I love living in a tropical climate, and the fruit season is about to come. Summertime in South Florida, there's fruits everywhere, and I make sure I get my greens in every day so I can get enough fruit in as well, and I'm being active so I can eat the fruit. But today I wanted to talk a little about a question that I'm getting more and more, and I've gotten many times over the years, and it's probably the question I get the most, more than any other question when it comes to diet. And that is, how do you get your protein if you're not eating animals? That's the number one question I get and I've gotten for all these years. And the answer is very simple, but because the media and society is trying to push and sell animal products on people, it sounds very hard to believe, but trust me, this is the truth. The key is to understand when it comes to health is making food as easy as possible for your body to digest, or eating food that's as simple as possible for your body to digest. And fruits and vegetables, assuming that they're picked ripe, would be the optimal foods for our body. And a variety of fruits and vegetables, that is. Now, meat is considered a complete form of protein because it has all of the essential amino acids. The reason why it's called essential is because we have to get them from an outer source. Our body can make them by themselves. See, all nutrients work synergistically, and if you're missing one, another one is not going to work the way it's supposed to. But when you get everything you need, the body works the way it's supposed to. So there are amino acids that the body produces on its own, but then there are some that doesn't. And those are the one that's called essential, because it's essential that we get those in our diet. So meat per se has all the essential amino acids that form the protein. So meat is a complete protein. Now, vegetables, there are very far and few in between vegetables that have all the essential amino acids in one source. So you have to get them from different sources, so you need to eat a variety of fruits and vegetables. However, the amino acids that you're getting from fruits and vegetables, and it's possible to get all of the essential amino acids from a vegan diet, the way to get that, or the thing about it is, that is consuming the highest quality essential amino acids, whereas meat is the lowest quality. And reason being is because you can't just look at what nutrients are in the food or what essential amino acids are in the food. You have to also look at how difficult is it for the body to process that food and get what it needs out of it and get rid of the waste. And when you look at an animal product or an animal in general, the meat that's being consumed is very difficult for the body to digest, and there's a lot of waste left over. So you're making the body work harder and you're getting less, very little. Now, when you eat a fruit or vegetable that's picked ripe, it has a tremendous amount of nutrients and the essential amino acids, depending on which vegetable they are. But the thing is, it's very simple to process. There's very little waste left over. So in this side, you're making the body work very little to get a lot. So that's why it's so much more high quality to eat the fruit or vegetable versus eating the meat. And, you know, if you do this, now if you take certain foods, like broccoli, pound for pound probably has more protein than any other food around there. But in general, you want to make sure you're getting all the essential amino acids so the body can build the correct protein and right. And I say, regardless of what you're eating, if you're eating meat or if you're eating a vegan diet, if you're eating a raw diet, because man has messed with the food so much today, the food isn't what it was, what once was and what it's supposed to be. So we're not able to get everything we need. So I do believe supplementation is essential. So now it comes down to the point, do I want to eat food that's very easy to process and has the nutrients I need in a higher quality form and take a few supplements? Or do I want to do something like eat a dead carcass, a dead animal, and make the body work really hard to get very little and still have to take even more supplements because there's so much low quality stuff in there? And to me, it's quite simple. The choice of the fruit or vegetable will always come before the meat. I mean, you could just look in nature and look at fruits and flowers versus carcasses and other dead piles of stuff. It's not even close what we gravitate towards, what we would want. As I look at children and I see little children, they're running towards the fruit. They're not running towards the animal. It's not a difficult choice to make. However, we become so accustomed to eating meat. And another thing people say is they say, I just can't get away from the taste of meat. I just love meat. Folks, first of all, if you have to spice something up or season something to make it taste a certain way, you're not liking what you're eating, you're liking the seasoning. So I don't know anyone that just likes plain meat. They got to put seasoning on it and everything else. So let's say you got a steak. Nobody likes steak, so you put the A1 steak sauce on or something else. That's what you love. So you know what? Take that A1 steak sauce and go put it on an orange or something if that's what you're looking for. But don't think it's the meat that you're desiring. No, the consistency and the taste can be mimicked in a healthier version of eating something that's raw, or preferably at least just vegetarian. If you go to a vegetarian restaurant, sometimes you wouldn't even know the difference. That's how they can mimic the taste and the flavors of these different things. So when we think about that also, we just think about just what meat does to the body. And you see athletes and they're working out really hard and they're strong and they're spending a lot of time exercising, and they say, oh, it's the meat, that's why I'm able to do this. But there are vegetarian athletes all over the world that are probably just as strong and much faster and have more energy, and they last much longer in what they're doing. And it's about eating healthy and being fit. I mean, you got to be fit no matter what you're eating, and if you're being fit, you're going to be able to do just as much. So I wouldn't give so much to the meat and everything else. Now, if somebody wants to choose to eat meat, please, by all means, get something that's not as drugged up, or something that comes from the average supermarket. But still, you don't need to kill anything to be healthy. So keep that in mind. And there's a transition stage. That's another question I get, is how do we transition to eating a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet? That's a question I get often. And basically, just start cutting out things. First start cutting out the really bad meats like pork, and then maybe red meat, and then chicken. Then maybe you'll just be left with fish, and then you cut out that. So for some people, it must be done overnight because they realize how bad the industry is and about the murdering and killing of animals. But for some people, their health isn't extremely bad, and they just know it's not good to eat meat, so they could take their time with it. So if that's the case you're in, take your time with it, but not too much time, and slowly but surely start cutting it out. And some people say, well, what can I replace it with? Well, if something's not healthy, you don't need to replace something that's not healthy with something else. You just get it out of your diet. And we want to eat something, though, so that's where the fruits and the vegetables and the nuts and seeds come in. I want to encourage people. Raw food recipes are wonderful during that transition stage. I went to even a vegetarian restaurant the other night, and I had a whole bunch of, some dishes were raw and some were just vegetarian. I mean, I told my friends that went there to eat meat that there's no meat in this stuff, and they couldn't believe it. That's how good it tasted and real it tasted, just like meat. But for me, I'm not even into the taste of meat. I don't even want to taste the meat. I want to know I'm eating vegetables or nuts and seeds and fruits. And look, I got a bad watermelon today, and a bad watermelon is better than the best meat any day of the week. It's much cheaper, it tastes better, it goes down easier, and it comes out easier. It's just all around, it's just better for you. So people might think, well, I'm just knocking the meat industry, or I'm just against people eating meat, and I'm just saying that meat's not healthy. You're right, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, because it's true. So now, no, really, I know people that eat meat and they're somewhat healthy, and I know people on a vegan diet and some of them aren't healthy. I know some people that eat meat that are definitely not healthy, and some people on a vegan diet that are healthy. It's more to it than just eating meat or not eating meat. The amount we eat, when we eat, how we feel when we eat, there's so much more to the whole picture. But if you want to start eliminating things that are harming your digestion or not making it as great as it could be, you want to start with the things that are most complicated, and I would put meat at the top of that list. All right? So whatever you decide to do, enjoy yourself and have a great day and a great raw life, and put your comments and questions below the video.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.